Welcome to day 34 of scaling the AI agency from $0 to $100,000. We have a banger one for you guys today. We're at 6,000 cash collected, but that is going up soon. Some key things we're going to be talking about in today's video is AI native is the future of business. So stay tuned for that. AI funnel, and then also some sales sauce today. Basically what I do is go over what I did today, go into some data sets that you can take away from and implement into your own business or life as an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur. So tune in, put this into X speed, and let's jump right into today. So some key moments from today. So we had a crazy day today. Obviously, if you saw last video, we had a sales call. His phone died. I'll give you a little update on that here in a second, but we had a client check-in call today. It went pretty well. We found another upsell opportunity for him. He's pretty busy. He's getting a lot of leads that are just calling him up instead of actually filling out the form and going through the process. So he's getting like double the lead flow based on everything there, which is super huge. So he's doing really, really well. He's super excited, man. He's talking us up big game, and he is also like throwing out profit shares as well, and just like how we can expand this into a longer term thing, bringing some really cool ideas to us. So that's really exciting. Busy as fuck. We found another opportunity to upsell him as well for some long-term like drip campaigns via emails and making those really branded and presentable, and be able to kind of drip different types of prospects that come in that maybe they're not ready yet, or maybe they're looking for a project down the line. That way they can kind of stay in the ecosystem and keep getting touches. So that's another potential upsell we found. We've gotten into a business OS build out. So we had an epiphany today. This is kind of what I've already been doing for my own personal life, but it was like, holy shit, we could build this out for our entire business, all of the context on our business, SOPs, managing client data within there, kind of like a Google Drive, but something that AI can actually interact with, right, and understand. So that's a part of the data set today. It's a Claude repo. We'll basically be able to feed all of our context, store all of our context business data within there. And then the goal is eventually be able to orchestrate a bunch of little mini agents for a media buyer based on everything that's in there contextually. For an agent that can create scripts and actually generate B-roll for us to do the fulfillment. An AI that can help us it's just like we're setting ourselves up for an AI foundation. And then also new middle funnel and bottom of funnel. So we had another kind of realization today as well. Middle funnel is good, but we need to make it more educational based on the process and like what the actual opportunity looks like here for these types of AV integrators. So going a little bit deeper into the process in the middle of funnel and just educate them a little bit more so they understand what this actually looks like from a process and system perspective, not really like our story, or I guess the FAQ video is solid, but potentially kind of keeping that in the process there. And then bottom of funnel, simplifying the sales process. Kind of what I've learned is that our sales process is a little too like B2C sort of, right? Like it's just like the talk track's long. Like some of these guys, they're going to hop on the call. They see the training video. They see the guarantee. They're like, hey, I know I have a problem. Okay, let's talk about your problem a little bit. And then just go straight to the pitch. Like we could be closing guys in like 30-minute calls, right? And that's kind of what we're learning on the B2B side. We've kind of had our sales script seemingly optimized for like B2C. So kind of just realizing like, let's take some of that out. Like the guy I was talking to last night, like he gave me all the context before the call. That call could have been like 20 minutes. I could have just showed him the process, understood his pain a little bit more, and then just pitched him, so like that could have been an issue too. Maybe I just dragged the call out a little too long. So and his phone ended up dying. Like if it wasn't a 50-minute call, like his phone wouldn't have died, so probably just kind of learning that, like skipping through the process a little bit there, just making it way more simple, right? Just simple. And then if it feels like, hey, this guy seems like he's ready, I already know enough about him, let's just go straight to the pitch, right? Let's go to the presentation. I'm also going to be doing a presentation for every single prospect on the call instead of asking them like, hey, do you feel like you already have a good understanding of our process? Do you want me to reiterate that to you? That way it's like, okay, either way, they at least see from a high level simply what it is we're actually doing for them, right? Before I actually pitch them, right? Because I can tell them all I want, but if I don't actually show them beforehand, it's not going to land as hard. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to implement, is more of a presentation style. And then we have 3 calls booked tomorrow, all of them booked in today for next day appointments. So our cost per call is like $20 right now, dude, which is pretty crazy. They're all qualified. One of them is like under 50K a month revenue, which is like he could be making 40K a month. Maybe that's just what he said. So either way, like all these guys are making multi 5 figs a month, and they're in the position to be able to invest into the product that we offer, the service that we offer. So super excited for the redemption tomorrow. The guy that I had a call with yesterday, He didn't hit me back this morning. We're going to kind of just give him some breathing room here, see if he wants to loop back up, if he maybe experiences some more pain. Probably check in with him here next week on Monday. I don't want to like chase him and make it feel like we're desperate, but just a little unfortunate that, the phone had to die. If I didn't have the sales call be 50 minutes, it could have easily been 30. That would have never happened and we probably would have got the deal. So I guess it's just kind of tells us, hey, the sales process is the bottleneck right now. The bottom of funnel is the bottleneck. So let's just fix that, right? Just kind of a harsh reality. If he comes through, he comes through. Awesome. We're not going to push him though and try to scare him away even more. Just keep the door open. Say, hey man, like if you're really serious about moving forward, like we're here for you. You know what I'm saying? So kind of getting into that, but those are some key moments from today. Now let's get into the data sets from today. So today was a banger day, a lot of data sets to walk away from. I know you're going to get a lot of value from this. First one being is that AI native businesses are the future. Okay, so I've been kind of talking about this lately for a while, is that AI native businesses are the future of how businesses operate. Now, what I believe, my philosophy in terms of AI agents, I don't think AI is agentic enough to be able to actually automate key business processes. I don't think it's there yet. Fully automate, I'm saying, like where there's really no human intervention other than like having the agent execute and like send it off on a task, right? Where it's kind of just more orchestrating. I think agentically, we're just not there yet. But to set ourselves up to be there, we need to build a system. Okay, now this is my philosophy for the Business OS system. It's essentially a GitHub repository, okay, something that can be interactable between any AI, right? It's basically a source of truth, okay? And you store client data in here, tasks in here, upsells that you've pitched them on, sales call frameworks, sales calls, every call you've had with the client, right? Their metrics, what they're seeing in terms of results, right? That way we can see, like, we can start getting the media buyer side of things kind of trained out a little bit more specifically in the AI realm, have kind of a feedback loop there. And then obviously from our offer side as an agency, front end, back end, okay, what is our SOPs for fulfillment? How can we ensure we can fulfill in the best way possible? And then also on the front end, okay, what does our funnel look like? What are our metrics looking like, right? What is our cost to acquire a customer? What is our hard cost to actually deliver on a service like this? And then also like, what does our client success side look like? Like literally have all of the data that runs this entire business in one spot. Think of it like having, instead of using Google Docs, you have a GitHub repo that AI can actually interact with. That's kind of what I think about it as. It's basically what it is, right? It's, instead of it being a document, it's code that AI can interact with and read on a consistent basis, right? Using it in the terminal and then having GitHub be like that one source of truth. So when we get to the point where AI agents and agentic workflows are actually consistent and they actually can do really well work, I think we're close. We're close, but we're not there yet. We're going to just be able to plug them in. All we got to do is just plug in APIs, and then this can start performing agentically for us. You see my picture here? So basically what we're doing is building our business infrastructure so that AI can actually interact with it consistently. And we can just keep building the data, keep building the context, right? What we're seeing from running ads across clients, right? What patterns are we seeing? Essentially one source of truth for our business that we can interact with AI, that AI can plug into and have an infinite amount of context on who we are as a business, right? Our clients. And we can keep everything up to date with AI on our behalf. So that way we're not having to go into a doc, fill out their information. It's like, okay, pull up their Facebook ads library, yap into some of their metrics. Obviously, I know we can automate that right now, but like we're just trying to get like all the systems and kind of like infrastructure in place before we even get into automating. So AI native businesses are the future. And I think there's a huge potential how I see this in the near coming future, right? When, maybe the agency model starts to get more commoditized, right? And things get a little trickier. I feel like this sort of IP you can sell, right? This makes your business extremely sellable. If you build out your entire business within a Claude GitHub repo, someone who's trying to acquire you is going to see that so valuable. It's like, holy fuck, you already have a team of orchestrated agents in here. You have all the context that you've been building off of years, right? And it's just plug and play. It makes it so much easier for someone to want to acquire you. And it's also something that you can sell to other businesses down the line. I think helping businesses implement a AI native system, right? That AI can interact with basically everything they do under one roof is going to be a very valuable offer here in the near coming future, if not right now. Okay. Everyone's trying to implement AI, but they don't know where to start. And I think this is exactly where you start. Get that AI native operating system built out so AI can actually interact with your business and can contextually update everything you're doing on a consistent basis. This is an offer that I'm really keen for as well. I think it's a really cool one. Once we prove the concept, it could be a really high ticket offer, sort of a build and release model for agency owners, right? And it's something that could definitely be beneficial for people to just get that AI native system set up. And then you can also tie in agentic systems to that, right? Like I wouldn't say agents aren't good for everything. I think they definitely are good for some things. So you can definitely tie things in, get APIs in there right away, and just make the whole process simple, right? And then you can use that data for anything. You can build a software, right? You can build an internal operating software. You can do something for your clients. That could be what feeds the data for your clients and puts it into a software, right? And a dashboard that they can see. Like there's just so many more evolution points if you have that one source of truth set up. So I fundamentally believe that this is the future of how businesses are going to be able to operate. And it's the best way to set yourself up and your business up for the agentic future ahead. Okay. Because this is how AI interacts in code, in a code base. And that's exactly what GitHub is. So it's literally the perfect foundation to build your business off of if you want to start getting ready for that agentic push that we're going to start seeing here towards the back half of this year when things really start moving. I wouldn't even say, I think we're just scratching the surface right now based on what we can actually do with AI. And I truly believe that things are going to start advancing really, really fast here once we start seeing Q3, Q4 of this year on the back half of it. That's when you actually have this system right here in place. So if you are a business owner, entrepreneur, you need to have a system like this for your business to set yourself up for the agentic future we're forthcoming into, that we're evolving into. Okay, if you don't, you will be super behind, extremely behind, right? This is the infrastructure you need to scale. If you have any questions about this, DM me on Instagram. I'd love to give you some insight. If you want to see a video of exactly how I would build this, comment down below as well. This could be a really cool series. I'm so bullish on this take, so bullish. Second data set is run ads right and you have a money printer, bro. If you can build a top of funnel and middle of funnel, more so top of funnel, at the end of the day, what are you looking to optimize? Top of funnel first. How can we get clients and calls consistently? How can we get new opportunities into our business, right? You optimize the top. Then you optimize the middle. How can we get them as warm as possible before they jump on a call with us? Then you optimize the bottom of funnel, right? So always start at the top. Once you master the top, the middle and the bottom are easy, right? When you bring in qualified leads consistently, right, effortlessly, and they come in and they're already qualified when they come in and then they consume that middle of funnel, they're going to be even that much more qualified to where the sales calls are going to be really easy for you on the bottom, right? And I truly believe the easiest way to this day to get a dialed in top, middle, and bottom of funnel dialed is Facebook ads. Okay. Facebook ads, like you're getting the right people to see your shit. That's what Facebook ads is. It's completely different from organic content. When you post organic content, the right people aren't going to see your shit. I'm sorry to say it. Like that's just how it works. When you're cold calling, yes, right? It works, but they're not self-selecting. You're selecting them to see if they even match who you want to work with, right? To see if they even have the pain, right? You can only do so much in a cold call, right? They don't get to see your ad. They don't get to feel pain and actually self-select. And they don't get to see a landing page. They don't get to see a VSL in the process. You can only verbally explain it to them. And that's why I think cold calling, I mean, you can get a client with it. If you're selling something low ticket, cold calling can work. Something that's universal, easy to understand in like 3 sentences, 1 sentence, whatever. That's something you can sell cold calling. But either way, the best acquisition system to this day that can get you results the fastest. We've had this funnel live since Monday, and it's been like 5 days. To get the funnel live the fastest and actually start making money the fastest, if you know what you're doing, build a Facebook ad system that actually fucking works. If you're running an agency and you have a good ass offer, but you're struggling to get clients, muster up some balls and run Facebook ads. If you want the entire system and the SOPs that we use to run our Facebook ads and have a $30 cost per qualified call, DM me on Instagram and let me know what you want, because I'll hook you up, bro. Okay? Because yeah, like we have a dialed top funnel, just working on the middle and bottom right now. But like once we have that, it's like the system is so cohesive and efficient. It's unbeatable. especially if you can find yourself. It's either you go into a blue ocean market knowing exactly what the fuck these guys want, or you go into a red ocean market and you target a super, super, super specific type of person within that red ocean market. Those are really the only two ways to nail Facebook ads. Because if you go into a red ocean market and you sound like everybody else, you're just going to get mid-ass results. You're better off cold calling, right? But if you go into a red ocean market and you actually specifically work with this one type of person in that market, that's how you differentiate yourself and open up a blue ocean market for yourself. Like, you just have to be as specific as possible in a red ocean niche, red ocean market. And on the blue ocean side, it's almost like, okay, still be specific, right? But it's going to be really easy for you to run a profitable funnel. The only thing that's hard with it is that you don't have anyone that you can model off of, and that niche potentially isn't going to be viable. But you can really much so figure that out fast, right? Like, you just have to do some research and figure out what these guys really need and if you can supply it, right? So it doesn't matter if you're in a red ocean or blue ocean, just niche the fuck down and talk to a specific type of person and your Facebook ads are going to work. We're using a training funnel right now. So we basically break down the entire process and system from a high level and show them exactly what we've done for a client that they could literally implement themselves. It's like it's a 7-minute training video. It shows them everything from a high level, right? And that's what's seeing great success for us right now, is like, just show, don't tell, right? A lot of VSLs that I see, people just like, they go script word for word, talk about all the pain, all this blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's like, it works B2C, but like B2B, like, these guys are straight shooters. Like, they want to know what the fuck you do, how you can help them in like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like, just like from a high level, what it does. Okay. So if you can literally do everything I just told you, ads will rip. Talking head ads don't work anymore. You need to get B-roll. You need to use AI as your creative partner in this type of stuff. Talking head ads do not work anymore. You got to be creative. You got to do something different, right? And what we've seen is B-roll works really well. Run an ad that you would run for a customer, right? If you're doing lead gen, AI lead gen, do B-roll of like what projects look like for them. Like, you got to because like the B-roll, the visual part of the ad is so important, right? Because if someone is a home remodeler, bathroom remodeler, and they see a B-roll ad of just a bunch of finished bathrooms, they're going to stop scrolling, bro. And they're going to listen to what you have to say, right? And then the copy just like pulls out that pain for them, but they're distracted by seeing something that they know, right? And that's the psychological part behind the ads, is like, you got to have the creative itself visually attracting that audience. Visual hooks are so important. And that's why B-roll does so well comparatively to talking head. Unless you can actually put yourself in a visual, like, imagery scene where it can actually still resonate with the ICP, then it can work. But you're going to still have to use AI talking head for that. So those are literally that's how you run ads the right way. That's how you see a good result on the top of funnel. Then you just got to have a good VSL, have some proof on there, and get these guys to book in calls, right? Just run a call funnel, VSL call funnel. Don't have them like opt in for whatever. Don't have them fill out a lead form and then you call them up. Just do a call funnel, bro. Like, if you have a good enough VSL, I guess you could call that kind of middle funnel, but I would still call it top, right? Like, they haven't opted in yet, so it's like pre-call. That's top of funnel. Like, just make it simple, make it look sexy, get some trust indicators in there, and make it really easy for them to move forward and take the next step. I literally have in the VSL, like, I tell them exactly how to move forward and like take the next step. Okay. So if you can do those two things right, like, you're going to have a very profitable top of funnel, and then it's just middle of funnel, bottom. And that's really easy. Like, middle funnel is just, okay, how can we educate them and get them warmed up so the call is easier and they're like really bought in, or they can self-disqualify, right? And then the bottom of funnel is just a conversation, right? It's just, okay, sales conversation, right? And understand, okay, these guys are coming in ready to go because they went through the middle of funnel, they watched a video, they booked a call, right? And you're going to be butter. And that's how you build a Facebook ads money printer. So if you're running an agency, running any sort of business that's B2B, B2C, like, run ads, man. It's a great way to get customers, and it still is one of the best ways, bro. Everyone keeps saying they're dead, bro, but like, this industry hasn't even been around that long. It's only been like 2 decades, bro, not even, right? So it's still so new. It's not going anywhere. Even if costs are rising, it's like, okay, if costs rise, wouldn't that mean I'm getting more of the right people? But just because my CPM goes up, maybe Meta's optimizing so that it actually shows the right people my ad. You know what I mean? So it's like the algorithm's only getting better. Like there's nothing to worry about when it comes to paid ads are dead. Like it's so expensive to get leads. It's like that's because your funnel sucks. You know what I mean? So they're the money printer, bro. I don't know who's telling you they're not. They're fucking capping. Okay. Implement a Facebook ad system like the one I just mentioned, and you're going to start printing money. And last, bro, is just make sales simple. Like I literally said this on the call. Like I went a little too deep with this guy. I already knew his pain. He already told me all his pain before the call even happened. Like I probably could have pitched him within the first 20 minutes. And, you know, it's just kind of like, hey, like you just got to kind of read the room and just make it simple. You know, it's a conversation at the end of the day. And these guys wouldn't be on this call if they didn't want to have a conversation with you. You know, they wouldn't have showed up if they weren't at least interested in hearing you out or interested in buying. Right. So just make it a conversation, you know, and that's what I'm taking with me for tomorrow's calls is like, just make it simple. You know, like you have a very valuable service that people are seeing results for in this exact niche that these guys could benefit from too, right? They need you more than you need them, right? And that's kind of the mindset you got to have going into the call. So I'm just simplifying the entire framework, going more so from a consultative perspective. We're going to make sure we're showcasing like a presentation on every call. That way they can see what everything looks like simply visually from a high level. We're going to show them their expected return on investment. And then we're going to give them a little temp check and then we're going to pitch them, dude. Simple as that. So our calls should be only around 30 minutes, if not less than that now. So I might even switch the time frame. Right now we have about 45-minute time slots booked out, which I think that's a fair number as well. But either way, you know, it's just you got to just make it simple, bro. Like I feel like our framework was a little too B2C. Kind of learned that. Felt like you know, it's just a little too B2C. So now we're just getting it dialed in. You know, you live and you learn, right? It's just how it goes. Make it simple. It's what we're walking into the day tomorrow with. Cool. And then tomorrow's actions, we have 3 sales calls. We're expecting to close at least one of these guys, dude. At least one of them. Ideally, it's the first guy. He's kind of in the same position, it looks like revenue-wise, that the other guy that we were talking to yesterday that was a really warm lead. So we're going to get one closed up tomorrow, dude. It's a Saturday. We're taking calls on a Saturday. These guys booked for Saturday. So same or next day bookings, like these guys are pretty serious. You know, obviously if they're booking next day, they're pretty serious. So we're going to see if we can get one closed up. Hey, we go 3 for 3. That'd be sweet too. You know, we're optimizing the bottom of funnel, and that's really where the optimizations need to be had. So, because we've been getting really qualified leads coming in the door. It's just really, okay, let's just get the sales process rocking now. And we're going to start closing deals left and right. So I'm going to get into the presentation side of things. I already kind of have the sales process revamped. I'm going to finalize everything in the morning. I believe our first call is at 10. I'm not even going to run through a talk track. I'm probably just going to get the presentation done, run through how I would present it. And then I just got to get some payment links set up because we did raise our offer up a little bit. It's $6,000 per vertical now. Getting that dialed in, should be ready to go. Have a couple more client deliverables. Co-founder is going to be getting into like the quoting agent that we said we were going to do for our client. And then we got to get him we were going to give him like a doc of all the automation so he can optimize the copy, whatever, stuff like that. Claude agent co-founder is also getting into the structure, planning it out tonight. And then we're going to just start plugging data into it eventually here as we start moving. Get sales call frameworks in there, get our sales call recordings in there, like just literally everything, just start putting it in there, populating the entire database. And then Client OS, this is software we're building out for clients. It's been a little tricky. I think we kind of overcomplicated it a little bit. So we're going to simplify it and get that ready to launch here, at least before next week. So we can ideally, I want to get like, you know, I might just show a preview of it on the presentation because I want to get this done before we sign our next client, right? Before we onboard our next client. So onboarding would probably look at Monday for guys that close tomorrow. So we'd probably be onboarding Monday. So definitely doable to get that done. That way we can get that implemented on the onboarding call. And some middle funnel optimization if I get to it. And then we also have a little client upsell opportunity in the works as well. So we're going to kind of look into what that looks like from a high level and take advantage of the day tomorrow, bro. We got some huge opportunities on the deck. So we just got to make the most out of what we got and get it closed, man. All we got to do is optimize the bottom of funnel, right? The top, the middle's decent, right? Like we just need to put a little more education, maybe one more video in the middle and we're good. And then it's just like, all right, let's get the bottom of funnel dialed and pitch these guys way sooner than 45 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the name of the game. Ideally, tomorrow's video, day 35, we're going to be coming after you guys and saying, hey, we closed 1 up, we closed 2 up, we got all 3 of them, baby. And we're going to be walking into March, because tomorrow is the last day of the month. We're gonna be walking into March with a fuck ton of momentum. So that's the goal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or insight for me, please feel free to drop them down below. I answer any questions you have in all my videos. If you have any questions, I'll answer them in the next one. Also, if you want to connect with me, if you want to learn more about this AIOS sort of system that I'm implementing here, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I got a link in the description down below. Make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe too, man. Follow the journey from $0 to $100,000 AI agency. We in the trenches, building this out brick by brick. No one else is putting content out there like this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys for day 35. It's going to be a banger.